Thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup with me, Neeraj Shah. It's going to be an action-packed day, particularly for pharma, and I'll get to that in a moment. But did you know that if you're looking at demat accounts, the demat account additions in India hit a 7-month low in the month of November, unfortunately. But the total number of demat accounts stands now at 18.2 crore as a number. But yeah, some point of time these additions has to come off. But 18.2 crores is a very healthy number from the actual perspective of the number of people who can actually invest in India per se with disposable income. Not a bad number. But yes, this addition list is coming off. Maybe the brokerage stocks get impacted today. Anyways, this is what the global news flow is. US November unemployment rate at 4.2. The estimate was 4.1. Does this mean that there could be rate cuts? I think some people on the street might believe so, which is why maybe the NASDAQ did what it did. Donald Trump said to NBC that there is no plan to remove Jerome Powell as the Fed chair. This is a big development because most people believed that this will happen. What else? China, I think, is resuming or has resumed buying gold reserves in November after a 6-month halt. Does it help gold prices? That is the key thing to watch out for. And in other news, Syria's Assad has been toppled, has fled to Russia apparently after rebels have advanced and taken stronghold or taken up the strong positions out there in that country. So that's the big global news flow. From a local news flow, iPhone sales in India have crossed the $10 billion by value mark in 2024. In fact, ahead of Samsung. And LG is following Hyundai. The India unit of LG is going to file for an IPO. Korean companies filing for IPOs in India for the India units. You know, Indian companies are getting good valuations. Nevertheless, this is what the US did, and NASDAQ in particular did well. Maybe tech gives a bit of a respite to our markets. Asia should be lower. Kospi at least is lower, Hang Seng is lower, Nikkei is up about 1/3%, but Korea is still reeling under the geopolitical issues of itself, and therefore that market is down. Our markets, let's see how we are starting off. Well, about 48 or 50 odd points, anything could happen. We have a flattish Friday. Maybe this is how we start off. Let's wait and watch. You know, the trade setup for the day, I mean, remember the global markets are watching US simply because the CPI data that will come out this week could well determine whether the Fed cuts rates or no. If the number is high, then the Fed might actually not cut rates as well, and that might be negative for world markets. So I think everybody's watching the US markets. India VIX is subdued despite strong 2 weeks, which is actually a big positive from a bull's perspective. But from a sectoral perspective, I think 2 things to watch out for. One is passenger vehicle companies which have announced price hikes to combat costs effective Jan 1, and CDMO companies, like I said, which will be under problem because US Biosecure Act reversal will hit these stocks. So watch out for a Divi's, watch out for Laurus, watch out for Syngene. All of this will come off. Maybe some of the actual pharma companies which also have CDMO operations might also come off. But watch out for pharma. It promises to be a bad day for this one. You know, just from a market perspective, very quickly before we get to stocks, Dr. C.K. Narayan in his weekly column on NDTV Profit has given this very interesting quote. He's saying the market may be hinting to us not to get too hung up on longs. Don't buy every dip. Last 4 years we've been used to buying every dip. The thing might be different now, so that's to be kept in mind. I'll quickly move on to stocks though. Complacency is never a good habit. I think it's a good reminder. Okay, stocks to watch. Godrej Consumer, the first up on my list. It's a thumbs down. The company estimates mid-single-digit growth in organic sales. Subdued demand conditions seen in India in the last few months, they say. And the soap segment has been materially impacted due to increase in palm oil prices. This stock will correct today. MK lays it out for us saying that effectively Godrej Consumer Products has noted demand stress wherein 2/3 of the India business is impacted. Soaps is in fact by inflation in palm oil prices, etc. and stress in household insecticides given a delayed winter in north and floods in the south. GCPL will go down. I think it will take down some of the FMCG names along with it. Then Biocon, a negative. Novo is going to cut the prices for insulin aspart by 75%. Why is this important? Because Biocon has an aspart product which is yet to be released. But when it releases, maybe January, February, it will combat that 75% downtick, and therefore it is a problem for Biocon. In fact, brokerages like IIFL had penciled in estimates of $80 million in FY27 from this product. Now that that product is seeing a downtick, Biocon will correct today for sure. In addition to that, because Syngene will fall because of the US Biosecure Act reversal, possible reversal, let me put it that way, there is double negative for Biocon. AI Engineering has a negative. US has imposed anti-dumping duty of 4.3% on certain high chrome east grinding units, and the ADD is effective from 6 December 2024. ADD is the anti-dumping duty. Therefore, AI Engineering will face the anti-dumping duty. Could correct today. Poonawalla FinCorp, a thumbs down. Dheeraj Saxena, who's the CTO, or was the CTO, has resigned due to alleged harassment from the CHRO, Chief Human Resource Officer. Saxena says it created major unrest in the team, impacting the IT deliveries, and therefore, watch out for this one. Could correct a bit more today. CEAT has a thumbs up, is going to acquire Camso's off-highway construction equipment, tire and tracks business. Acquisition is from Michelin for $225 million. Large acquisition, nearly 2,000 crores. May impact the stock positively. Suven has an acquisition as well, as acquired controlling stake of 56% in US-based NJ Bio for 535 crores, expected to be financed through cash reserves. The acquisition expands the company market in the fast-growing CDMO segment, but if CDMO itself is coming under a cloud, Suven might also not see as big a reaction as it normally would have. Welspun Corp has gotten 2 orders in USA for supply of pipes. The total value of orders received by the US plant in Q3 is an astounding 7,000 crores. Quite stunning really for Welspun Corp. Watch out for this one. 197 Communication will sell about 5.4% stake in Japan's digital payment company for 2,000 crores. Could be positive. And MK has come with a note on GHCL, a thumbs up there. The buy with the target price of 900. This is the last stock that I'm talking about. The value of they value GHCL at 8 times EV EBITDA. They expect EBITDA to grow about 2.5 times by FY30. Margin expansion owing to backward integration in a lot of facilities. So do watch out for this one as well. That's all the time that we have on this edition of the Trade Setup. Thanks so much for tuning in, viewers.